listening to your brain on air. The program will begin shortly. Enjoy.
Estás escuchando Your Brain on Air. El programa comenzará en breve. Que lo disfrutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Your Brain on Air. I am your host, Ollie Vogt Larson, and it's officially the last day in the Big 25. Broke boys don't deserve no pussy. I know that's right, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot believe it. We're one day away from the Big 26. Can you believe it? This whole last year has felt like a goddamn like fast forward. You know what I mean? I haven't felt like I've been present in any actual day. It's really interesting. Oddly enough, doing this show, you think it would slow me down. It would allow me to get more in touch with the daily happenings. It really doesn't. The moment it enters my brain, it's out the other thing. Unless, of course, it's serious situations like our first story. Folks, I mean, if you want to talk about viral, you have to talk about Nick Shirley, and you got to talk about this video that he uploaded exposing a lot of the fraud going on in the state of Minnesota. It's fascinating. Trump, admittedly, they had to have some sort of response to this. It was so big, even Vice President JD was retweeting this video to share it among the populace. Listen, you can't ignore the situation anymore. It's gone mainstream. It's the cool thing to talk about now. There's no denying it. I'm sorry to say it. It's out in the open. It's there. On December 30th, the United States Department of Health and Human Services, under the Trump administration, announced a total freeze under all federal child care payments to Minnesota. This affects approximately 185 million annually through the Administration for Children and Families, Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill cited blatant fraud in the state's programs, demanding a comprehensive audit of the daycare centers, including attendance records and inspections. Just you wait, we're going to get to how they're about to dodge that. The decision is followed by a viral video by the influencer Nick Shirley, alleging that several Minneapolis daycare centers, many operated by Somali Americans, just oddly enough, just weird. It's weird that a large amount of them happen to be Somali Americans. They appeared non-operational in the videos, despite receiving millions in funding. HHS also implemented nationwide requirements for justifications, receipts, or even photo evidence for similar payments, and launched a fraud reporting hotline on their website. The freeze builds on long-standing concerns about fraud in Minnesota's social services. We've been covering this for months. If you haven't been a fan of the show, we've been covering this has been happening. We covered when that one lady, the first Hassan lady fell, you know what I mean? She was charged and whatnot. We've been covering how it's been an inadvertent, listen, if it was 90% Norwegian American immigrants doing this sort of stuff, we would say maybe Norway has a problem with fraudsters. I'm just sorry to say it. It's not a bizarre thing to be concerned about. The most prominent case involves the nonprofit Feeding Our Future, which we've talked about, where prosecutors uncovered $250 million to $300 million schemes exploiting federal children nutrition funds during the COVID-19 pandemic. Investigations began in 2021 and 2022 under the Biden administration, leading to charges of over 90 individuals, many of which Somali Americans. The conviction of dozens, including 57 defendants in related cases, separate audits and probes have estimated potential losses exceeding $1 billion across programs since 2018, including Medicaid and child care assistance, though direct links to current child care fraud remain under investigation. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, he's facing the majority of the backlash from the public. The majority of them are blaming him. You can blame him half. I would say half, because he did admittedly take a lot of pride in how loose he made the regulations for getting into this business in his state of Minnesota throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. He was like, we're making it so easy for fellas to get into the childcare industry. I don't know that that's one I want people to be making it into that easily, in all honesty. I think it should require years of training in order to do that. Well, the Trump admin, they went ahead, Dumb and Dumber. I love these two. They literally look like two of the same person, where it's this guy talking tall guy with glasses, short guy with glasses. They went ahead and they showed up in their nice suits, and they told us that Minnesota, you were shutting your shit down because we're looking into it. Here's the clip directly from them.
Hello, I'm HHS Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill. I'm here with Assistant Secretary Alex Adams. Alex oversees the Administration for Children and Families. Intrepid journalists have made shocking and credible allegations of extensive fraud in Minnesota's child care programs. We believe the state of Minnesota has allowed scammers and fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
You know, listen, you would have known that if you would have been a fan of the show. You would have known that if you would have subscribed, ladies and gentlemen. That's only a reason for you to subscribe even more.
My office, ACF, provides Minnesota $185 million in child care funds each year. That money should be helping 19,000 American children, including toddlers and infants. Any dollar stolen by fraudsters is stolen from those children. Yesterday, I spoke directly with the director of the Minnesota Child Care Services Office. She could not tell me with confidence whether those allegations of fraud are isolated or whether there's fraud stretching statewide.
I mean, this is embarrassing. As a lifelong resident, I was born in Detroit Lakes, born and raised. I lived there my whole life. You know what I mean? I only moved out to the city regions. You know what I mean? A couple of years back. And then I'm just saying, as like a lifelong resident, a lifelong prideful resident, I always loved the idea that I was from the northmost state. Forget Alaska; they don't exist. Sarah Palin's not real. She is your what is that thing? Sleep paralysis demon. That is what Sarah Palin was. She was a collective sleep paralysis demon that we all imagined. And in all honesty, can you say that theory's wrong? Where has she been the last few years? Exactly. This is embarrassing. This is like, as a lifelong resident of the state, I wish that I had something a little bit better to say about my state, except for the fact that it's run by bleeding heart Vermont types that just don't realize that, like, oh yeah, Vermont works like that because they have a mostly homogenous society. Take from that what you will.
Today, we have taken 3 direct actions against the blatant fraud that seems to be rampant in Minnesota. First, I have activated our Defend the Spend system for all ACF child care payments across America. Starting today, we require a justification, receipt, or photo evidence before we make a payment.
Good.
Second,
why didn't you do this from the start?
Just signed and sent a demand letter to Governor Walz. I required a full 360 review of these centers.
Good. Tim Walz, I'm sorry, I'm not rooting for your third term. Hold his feet to the fire on this one. I don't give a shit that he doesn't own stocks, and oh, he's nice because he eats Dairy Queen, and oh, he's just small town whatever. He's out there for the real folks. No, he's not. He's allowing rampant bullshit to happen across his state. Hold his feet to the fire. You would be mad at Andrew Cuomo. You were mad at him when the old folks home people were dying. It's like, well, he wasn't in there running the facilities himself.
This includes attendance records, licenses, complaints, investigations, and inspections.
And third, we've launched a dedicated fraud reporting hotline and email address at childcare.gov. Whether you're a parent, a provider, a member of the public, we want to hear from you. Let me be crystal clear. ACF expects every state to uphold the highest standards of oversight, monitoring, and accountability for federal dollars. Minnesota is no exception.
We're committed to holding bad actors accountable. Regardless of rank or office, anyone who's involved in perpetrating this fraud against the American people should expect to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Produced by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
You guys know that movie, War Dogs? When they win the $30 million Afghan deal. It's a great movie. If you guys have never seen War Dogs, I'd highly recommend it. Jonah Hill, Miles Teller, great performances from both. But there's a scene where they lose they win the Afghan deal, but they lose the ability to have made a couple more $1 million. Like, don't get me wrong, they made a massive profit, but they came in underneath everybody else's bids so dramatically, that's why they ended up winning the contract. I'd recommend watching it for yourself. But in this scene, this is essentially me. This is me starting this dumbass Your Brain on Air LLC. And then the people at the business management offices telling me that I should have just started a daycare and that I could have made a lot more money.
By how much?
How much? Millions? And then here's me, I'm getting stressed.
Oh, okay. Just for me, I'm curious, how many millions?
Legally, we're not supposed to discuss that with you.
And then here they tell me how much daycare people are winning.
What the hell? You guys came in $53 million lower than the nearest competition.
$53 million.
Motherfucker!
We're okay. Look at the bright side. For once, the American taxpayer is getting a good deal on the defense contract.
Yeah, fuck the American taxpayer. Fuck the American taxpayer. Listen, totally agreed. I hear a dog underneath. Listen, I live on the 3rd floor of a building. I hear a goddamn dog howling. I have these horrible. I live with these polyamorous people. They have like a bunch of. I'm pretty sure they own like multiple units in here. But they have this big ass dog and they never take it out. They never fucking. Control your animal! See, like, Jesus. It's like it's these two guys and this woman that they share. It's like crazy. I don't like it. I think it's weird. And they have this big fucking hound, and I'm like, excuse you, this is not a big apartment. What are you doing? Are you like that abusive of that animal? I hear this thing howling all the time. Sorry, I'm literally just like chatting about my neighbors, but it's like serious. It's like, it's annoying. You take care of your animal so I don't have to be annoyed by it. That's not an offensive thing to say. It's just like true. I hear this goddamn thing again. I swear to God. Don't interrupt my recording or I will call Animal Protective Services. I swear to God. Anyways, folks, the feds, they're halting all child care funding. They're like, fuck it. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz reported 360 analysis. He argued that it's politicizing a serious issue to defund helpful programs. The viral video renewed scrutiny and prompted federal surges from the FBI and DHS. They're going door to door now to all of these people to ask if they're genuine. Like, hey, do you actually have children here? That's pretty curious. Reliable reporting notes that many fraud allegations predate it and were actively prosecuted earlier with no confirmed new charges yet against specific certain centers highlighted. I'm going to go ahead and just share this clip with you. This is a Minneapolis daycare center. They are claiming to have been, listen, this is the Nokomis Daycare Center. They are actively being investigated by the FBI, DHS. And hold on, no. I was busy talking. And essentially what's going on is the manager, Nasrullah Mohammed, not surprising, reported that a suspect stole important employee and clientele documents, an incident he attributed to the YouTuber Nick Shirley's social media claims. Apparently, according to this guy, this Somali gentleman in the NY hat, according to this manager of a totally legit business, robbers in the middle of the night came into their daycare center, not to steal technology, POS systems, anything, like any printers, whatever. But instead, they steal employee and clientele documentation. That's not true. It's not factual. It's not real. I'm going to go ahead and just let you listen to his words at this press conference, where he himself is claiming that they are the victims of widespread hate because of unsubstantiated claims of widespread fraud, that the Somalis are stealing millions from the communities due to their fraudulent daycare centers.
Yesterday morning, I was called by the owner because unfortunately someone came in to our daycare. We looked and saw what happened, and we saw that the suspect came in from the back, broke in from the back kitchen, and he also destroyed the wall to come in. As we walked around the daycare, we saw that our office doors was broken into as well. We saw that, unfortunately, there was important documentation, enrollment of the children, and also employee documentation that was gone. There were also checkbooks that were ripped from our check papers that were ripped from our book. This is devastating news, and we don't know why this is targeting our Somali community.
Make it a race thing.
Video made by a specific individual.
Maybe if less of you were stealing, your community wouldn't have as many eyes on it. Suggestion? I'm saying as a Lutheran, maybe they should stop sexually abusing children. You know what I mean? Maybe then people would be more comfortable with Christianity in general. Maybe you should listen, that's the crazy thing about most people, that when you target a group they care about, like if you call a Catholic out for supporting the church or the papacy, they'll just be like, well, you're making an anti-Catholic thing. You're making an anti-Somali thing. It's like, well, no. Why do your people engage in such abhorrent behavior? Not your people specifically. Why do your people show up in such unreal numbers proportionally? Because you make up such a small proportion of the population, we should see you in such small proportions of the crime statistics. Why are you showing up in proportions 89 or whatever 800% of what your population actually is? Why is that? Why is that the case? There's no shame. There's no self-critique. There's no saying, hey, my community should knock it off. Maybe we need to hold ourselves accountable. There's no shame. There's no guilt. There's no accountability. There's nothing. It's just, oh, no, everybody's doing this for a reason. No, the Somali community is being unfairly targeted. Even though these women in hijabs will stare you down like you just stole something from them if you just ask if you can sign your kid up for one of their daycare centers.
Made this all happen. We've been receiving hateful messages through our voice notes threatening us for the past couple of days, including one that happened yesterday morning after the break-in. This is frightening and exhausting because this is happening to us Somali communities as Somali Americans.
When we're just trying to make millions of dollars.
We are supposed to stand with each other and help each other through everything that's happening.
Like, I love the self-flagellating whites behind him that are just nodding along. They're just like, support our Somali communities. No guilt, no accountability, no responsibility.
This is also sad that a video can cause all of this.
I love that. A video can cause all of this. Not a community's behavior. Not a community's behavior. No responsibility, no accountability.
I want to say that there are hundreds of daycares out there, Somali daycares that are out there, and we all help our children and everyone in our community. We have high quality daycares, and this is very sad news that one individual who made a false claim about fraud that was happening in the daycares engaged everyone else to come and do this to us.
6 words. Fuck you, you lying fucking skinny. Enough out of you. Enough out of you. We're done. By the way, that's exactly why the guilt prospect of a lot of racial things, you can't get by with a lot of the rhetoric just being, oh, white people did something bad in the past, Somalis, we destabilized their country, ergo we owe them everything forever. That's not an argument. You're not tricking anybody except for self-flagellating whites when you pull out the rhetoric of feel guilty for these people, ergo look away when they steal your tax dollars. Listen, the only type of people I can see supporting an ideology like that are people who hate themselves. The only people I can see supporting that are people who are polite to a front, polite to the end. They will literally smile at you as you bag up their children and rape their wife and burn down their house. They'll smile at you because it's like, oh, if I don't, I will be revered as someone who's anti-diversity, anti-inclusion, anti the idea that is being promulgated by worldly Tony Blair types. You know what I mean? I don't understand the mentality behind this. There is you cannot criticize anything regarding us or our behaviors because we belong to a certain community. That is where racism inverts on itself and becomes an even nastier monster. It becomes a Tesla Hydra. It becomes the 3-headed dragon that just says, nope, the moment you cut my head off for saying that I behaved a certain way, 3 heads sprout back about how you're a racist, you're an anti-inclusionary, you're an anti-Somali, you're an anti-Muslim, and you will face the wrath. You will be chomped down by that beast until something happens. And I don't know what that is that happens, but let's just see what Governor Tim Walz has in store for us on that breaking report, ladies and gentlemen, that lovely breaking report. I mean, I think we have time for an ad, actually. Let's do the ad read. Are you tired of seeing hardworking Somali Americans in the Minneapolis environment getting tangled up in those pesky fraud allegations that just seem to pop up like weeds after a federal audit? Introducing Fund a Felon, the groundbreaking initiative from the Somali American Defense Fund. For just pennies on the dollar, or whatever's left after the feds freeze your funds, you can sponsor a community member's legal defense fund against the trumped-up charges of siphoning millions from childcare programs. Think of it as your patriotic duty. Every donation helps cover a bail, buys the best lawyers money can launder, or even throw in a complimentary not guilty by reason of cultural misunderstanding bumper sticker. Don't let the Trump admin witch hunt turn your neighbors into statistics. Fund a felon today and keep the American dream alive, one alleged scheme at a time. But wait, there's more. With Fund a Felon, your contribution goes beyond boring court fees. We're talking premium perks like exclusive webinars on how to spot a viral video sting operation, and VIP access to our annual Fraud Fighters Gala, complete with a la hors d'oeuvres and keynote speeches on exonerated entrepreneurs. Imagine the satisfaction of knowing your tax-deductible gift, pending IRS approval, of course, could help a daycare operator explain why their non-operational center was just one extended spiritual retreat. For our platinum donors, I would love to mention, we'll even name a future audit evasion strategy after you. In these trying times when the headlines are screaming blatant fraud faster than you can scream feeding our future 2.0, Fund a Felon ensures that Minneapolis' Somali community stays resilient, resourceful, and ready for round two. Join the movement that's sweeping the Twin Cities now, or at least the parts that are not under FBI surveillance. Call now or visit fundafelon.org, hypothetically speaking, to pledge your support. Remember, in the land of opportunity, everyone's innocent until proven guilty or until the funds run dry. Fund a Felon, because sometimes the best defense is a well-funded offense. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to jump into the fun. I want to have fun this episode. I don't want to cover anything serious. I want to cover fun stuff. And you know who's fun stuff? The lady who reminds me of fun stuff more than anything else is wine mom of the United States, Kamala Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, Kamala Harris, if you weren't aware, if you haven't been keeping up on pop culture news, she appeared on the Kimmy Kimmel show. It was a steady softball interview. Offered some wise and well-thought-out words for us. Former vice president, as you may know, she appeared to promote her book, 107 Days. She was reflecting on the 2024 election and current events. During the interview, she eventually stated that the American people deserve better than Donald Trump. She criticized the new administration's actions as deliberate distractions from the issues like grifting. She also described Trump's behavior as not random chaos, but coordinated efforts to divert attention while emphasizing the need for new leadership that unites rather than divides. Is it just me, or does her voice remind you of like a female Bobcat Goldthwait? Like, when I hear her whiny, her kind of throaty voice that she always throws out, very nasal, it reminds me of, like, those interviews when you'd see Bobcat and he'd be, like, kind of shaky. And, like, that's what I hear when I hear Kamala Harris. It's like a female Bobcat. A significant portion of the discussion focused on the Jeffrey Epstein files, as I'm guessing most people, their hackles were raised and they were like, I want to see what she has to say. Directly asked why the Biden administration did not release them during its term, especially given why the upcoming deadline for the Trump administration is to disclose the remaining file documents within limited redactions are coming up so soon. She explained that the administration maintained an absolute separation between its desires and the Department of Justice's independent decisions, stating that it was right to avoid influencing the DOJ for political or personal reasons, even if it was perhaps to our damage. She noted that this approach was to ensure decisions were free from vendettas. Let's play a clip. I want to jump around a little bit because I want to have fun with her. She's a fun aunt, and she's the fun aunt of Your Brain on Air. Let's close out the year with like our second story of Kamala Harris. Let's see it.
Our first guest tonight has quite a resume. It includes district attorney, attorney general, senator, vice president, McDonald's employee, and now
allegedly, never proven,
best-selling author chronicling the craziest presidential campaign in U.S. history. It's called 107 Days. Please welcome Vice President Kamala Harris.
Woo! America's mother. Kamala Harris. I cry with Drew Barrymore. I wave at everybody. Okay, quit it with the cheers. That's 20. That is 20 seconds of solid cheering. I skipped forward.
Your husband Doug is in the audience and wisely stood up and joined the standing ovation.
Doug is one of the most unsettling faces I've seen in my life. I'm sorry to say it. He's it's not even like, listen, the overly pleasant, kind of goofy old uncle image that they tried to paint for him through the election, it never fooled me. And if you were one of those people who watched the SNL skits and just thought, oh, Doug, he's just this guy who's like a goofy fella who's like played by Andy Samberg, and he likes wine and charcuterie boards and like white girl stuff. Like, I love white girl stuff too, but like, this guy has credible allegations of beating up his girlfriend in the past. Like, I don't know why anybody doesn't mention that. I don't know why everybody goes like, oh, yes, Doug, yes, Kamala. They're like such couple goals. He has really, really credible allegations from former girlfriend of abuse, of physical abuse. But okay, no one wants to talk about it because they want to laugh about how he likes Whataburger or something. Like, I remember that. He went with Beto O'Rourke to go eat Whataburger or something.
Happy Hanukkah, Doug. Did you remember?
That's my Dougie. He doesn't hit me yet.
Did you get Doug 8 little gifts for Hanukkah?
He gets a gift
I forgot Dougie's a J. Dougie's a J.
every day of our marriage. Every day.
I should have known with Emhoff.
Funny you say that because in the book you call him out for forgetting to buy you a birthday present during the campaign.
Oh, it was a whole situation, Jimmy. First, let me just say I love my husband so very much. I love my husband.
Sure.
He stands up and blows a kiss at her. It's so fake. It's so phony. Look at his fake, phony hairline. I'm not buying this guy's gray fucking Andy Griffith looking suit. I'm not buying it. He looks like he's going to dinner with Opie and Aunt B.
He's a very good man. But you're right. You know, writing that book, it was a process. It was very cathartic in many ways.
I've
been a public figure for quite some time, but
I'm gonna literally play a clip of Bobcat Goldthwait. I'm literally going to right now. Here.
And Bob Goldthwait joins us this morning. How are you, Bob?
It's a stellar morning.
It's a stellar morning.
You're extremely well read and too nice. How can I be bombastic?
I told you! It's literally how she sounds. She's like on the Jimmy Kimmel show going like, oh, Jimmy, it's so nice to be with you here tonight. I love Dougie. Dougie, I love my husband. He's so sweet.
I'm looking forward to tearing you to shreds.
Looking forward to tearing you to shreds.
Okay, well, actually, I thought Tom might interview me. I used to live in Boston, and I've been a big fan of his hair for such a long time.
My mother grew up in Boston. She was a civil rights advocate. Like, that's every interview I've ever heard with her.
And to be very private. And in the book, I offered a lot.
Did you notice that when I started playing this clip of her again, you couldn't tell which it was? You couldn't tell, oh, is he playing the Bobcat part, or is that Kamala Harris? You couldn't tell.
He was going to get a twofer when he went for the anniversary.
I miss her cackle. I miss her witch cackle. Yes! God, I wish that she won so bad. I want that witch cackle to be signing documents. I love her. She's so brat.
But he has been making it up every day since.
Isn't it weird to think that had you been elected president right now, we'd be watching a $40 million documentary about Doug on Amazon?
Oh, he wouldn't want that. He wouldn't want that. Oh, she didn't like that joke.
Different world.
After the election, did you and Doug just start drinking?
Ugh. Don't project your alcoholism, Jimmy. You just start drinking.
We definitely, it took us some time.
When was the last time you spoke with President Biden?
Never.
About 3-4 weeks ago.
Do you
About
feel
6 or 7 weeks ago.
like that Joe Biden and his people did everything they could to help you win the election?
Well, I write about that, so you're gonna have to buy the book.
I write about that, as you know. And certainly...
I love her smoker neck. Have you noticed that some women, when they reach that age of like 60-ish, they, even if they're skinny in most of their life, they have a smoker neck. It's like it starts to get the patchy wrinkles where it doesn't look like the line wrinkles. It just looks like a of like, you know, instead of lines, like when you stroke the paintbrush across the canvas like in a straight line, you just jam the fucking brush into the canvas and it creates that splotch with a bunch of different bristle strokes going in many different directions. That's the wrinkles on her neck. It's a smoker neck.
I think we needed more time, and from certain places in the administration, we needed more support.
Republicans have mercilessly attacked President Biden for his age and his mental faculty, and yet now we see the current president falling asleep at meetings and drooling on paperwork, and they seem to have no
Do you think that's hypocritical?
Does that seem hypocritical to you?
You think? Oh, Jesus.
And, I mean, I think it's important, and you do an incredible...
All right, this is what I wanted to play, actually, for you. This is actually why I wanted to go on. I wanted to play this clip for you because you get to hear firsthand just how well-skilled and craftful this woman is with her words. Just how mindful, present, interesting her sentences are. Like, and keep in mind, she does have a point here. She's going to get to it. We're going to skip around a little bit because it's a little unfocused, but we're going to help her out. We're going to help her out, and we're going to, like, listen to it.
Incredible job of helping us find humor in it.
Enough applause breaks.
But there is nothing normal about what we are experiencing. And I think it's really important for us to remember we cannot normalize this. And frankly, as much as we are clear-eyed about what is wrong and corrupt and callous and incompetent about this administration, we also must remember when we are talking about that.
Yeah.
And the people of America deserve better.
Yes, sweetie. Yeah, sweetie. Sweetie, you gotta say something. You can't just say
given,
niceties.
Even just what most recently, our friend Rob Reiner.
Yeah,
our friend Rob Reiner.
That seemed like the lowest point. So
our friend Meathead.
Far.
And the people deserve better of their president than someone.
I love how she paused because she thought she was gonna get applause. I love that.
Who has no interest in caring
sweetie.
about the condition or the well-being or the suffering
of the
people of
really?
Their country.
Yeah. Really? Jesus, come on. Acting like that's revolutionary.
I'm not saying that he's impolite. It's a whole other thing when you have taken to engaging in a pattern that is about belittling and demeaning people for no sake. I saw your intro with the plaques, which,
I love how she talks like Gandhi most of the time. It's like the belittling of people.
Much time in the White House. The idea that those plaques would have been placed by a president of the United States.
Yeah, he's having a laugh.
Former presidents of the United States.
He's having a laugh.
American people deserve better.
Oh, come on. Come up with a new line. Aaron Sorkin can write better than this.
You can't help but laugh at it, but is this coordinated or is this just random chaos? Is this something
It is not random chaos.
You don't think so? You think it's intentional to distract us from the various things?
So let's go through it. And I even map out, first of all, I know that it has felt chaotic,
But I predicted this. She's about to go, but I saw this all coming, and you all should have listened to me. I'm that black woman with the tarot cards on Louisiana's Jackson Boulevard in New Orleans, and I have a turban on, and I'm big and fat, and I got that big moo-moo, and I'm like spinning cards for people. Like, that's her. She was a fortune teller. We all should have listened to her.
In fact, witnessing is something that is a high velocity event.
High velocity.
Moving quickly, which is the swift implementation of a plan that has been, in a large part, decades in the making.
Is it?
Federalist Society, all of the work that has happened, Heritage Foundation, all of this work that has happened over years that is about...
I love the name drops. Heritage Foundation.
deconstructing government's ability to have checks and balances on abuse of power. what we are witnessing in terms of the gerrymandering that has been happening for years and years and years. The desire to deregulate industries so that they will not be accountable to the consumers and the people of America.
Consumers.
We are seeing a swift implementation of a plan that has been a long time in the making. And yes, part of the crazy is meant to distract from the fact. The guy said, and I believe there were a fair number of people who voted for him, who believed him when he said on day one he was going to bring down prices. And look where we are. As of today, the price of food is up, unemployment is up, inflation is up.
I mean, no, not exactly. Eggs at Aldi's are so much cheaper. Sorry to say it, but they're under $2 now. Like, fucking A.
Is up. And so what does he do? He keeps dropping bombs. Almost literally seems like he wants to.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Right?
And has, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. This literally feels like having a talk at Christmas with my Uncle Jimmy. Like, I love how a lot of Jimmys are kind of, they have a textbook outside personality, but you know what I mean? It's just like you've seen one Jimmy, you kind of get a good sense of what Jimmys are like. And I like Jimmys. Jimmys are good people.
And that is because he wants to distract from the fact and have us talk full time about the crazy instead of the fact that people are being challenged right now about being able to pay their rent, buy food, get Christmas gifts for their kids.
I predicted this. Literally, I'm being Kamala Harris. I saw this coming. Democrats are going to use affordability as like just a magic word to win elections, but it's eventually going to lose all meaning.
Kids. And he doesn't want us talking about the fact that he has destroyed the economy in so many ways, except for his cronies, his friends, who are making millions, if not billions of dollars based on abject and overt grift.
His family, himself. He's selling watches on television. Would you have been selling watches on television?
But you know what I do talk about?
What?
So when I called him,
Yes,
during the
I
campaign.
really want to hear this story, please.
Okay,
yes.
so during the campaign,
Oh,
what
yay.
happened was, I called him. It was actually a very sad occasion, it was after there was an attempt on his life, and I called him to check on him. And it was actually a fascinating experience for me, because while I was asked 1 minute, we're going to go and get him, I could hear him in the background, and he was selling his book to somebody. And he was basically hawking his book. And
Are you telling a man how to live after his life was almost taken? Excuse you, if he wants to sell a book because an assassin's bullet almost cut him down, the bro's gonna promo. And if you're sour about it, I'm sorry to say.
And the contrast around the reality of the significance of an attempt to assassinate a former president of the United States, a candidate and a nominee at that point for president, and the fact that at that very, what should be a somber moment for all of us.
Why?
That was happening.
It was on his life.
Was
unbelievable.
How is that unbelievable? I swear to God, this is literally a Hollywood audience going like, oh, we're all so good with our matcha scarves and glasses, sitting here twirling, going like, he is selling a book? What the fuck are you trying to say about this? If you want to say something bad about him, say a grab him by the pussy level thing. But, like, just telling people that he was selling his book after he almost died, why are you mad at him?
Well, but, at this point, not surprising, right?
Not at all. Now, the Epstein files are supposed to be released on Friday. Do you believe we will see the entirety of those files?
What he has done to treat the Department of Justice as his personal law firm is
rich coming from the Biden administration.
To what it's supposed to be, and that it is supposed to be an independent body that does justice, and blindfolded in terms of for whom, but for the country they're supposed to operate.
That's how those 34 felonies came to be?
And what this Department of Justice has done. So I don't know
34 felonies that were never previously charged in that state as felonies?
Saying they're going to do, which is release all of the documents that the American people have a right to see. But I will commend Republicans in Congress, those who have stood up to say release the file. Yeah.
Do you think about, and I'm sure you get asked about, why didn't the Biden administration release those files? Was that something that they felt would look bad while they're running against this guy, or why didn't they come out during your administration?
To give you an answer that will not satisfy your curiosity, I will tell you, we, perhaps to our damage, but we strongly and rightly believed that there should be an absolute separation between what we wanted as an administration and what the Department of Justice did. We absolutely adhered to that, and it was right to do that. The Justice Department would make its decisions independent of any political or personal vendetta or...
That's fantastic. Let's skip around a little bit.
Leslie's memoir last year, there are very specific details in the book which interest me, because I wonder if you were writing everything down with this in mind while it was happening. You keep a journal?
No, I first of all,
no,
I did not keep a journal.
Excuse you. That's not. I do not believe that for a second. If you have checked out any bits of 107 Days, I haven't bought the book. I have checked out bits and pieces. The audiobook's available online and shit like that, so I listen to it at work and whatnot. So, it is Winefest. It is Bridget Jones runs for president. It is this woman who believes that the rest of the nation needs to cater to her. She believes that the rest of the nation is not responsible for why she didn't pick Pete Buttigieg to be vice president. She thinks that it's like, oh yeah, the nation wasn't ready for a queer to be vice president. They were not about ready to have a fag as the VP, so I couldn't let that happen. So I went with a Menards employee instead. It's like, come on, that whole passage was ridiculous. And then America wasn't ready for a female president. And then Joe Biden failed her because he didn't leave early enough. Like it's just the whole book is pointing the other direction, saying everyone else sucks. I'm awesome. I'm awesome. You all weren't ready. And if you disagree with that assessment, read the book or listen to segments of it and tell me you don't get that vibe. Tell me you don't get that understanding, because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Whatever. Kamala, you did great. You did great on the show. I'm going to go ahead and I will leave you be. The female Bobcat Goldthwait, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe she'll be president in the future. Maybe she will be. Maybe she won't. I don't know. Neither do you. Let's just pray. All we can do is pray. That's the only thing I can advise is prayer. That's how dark it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's how dark that things are getting, is that the secular is recommending prayer. As a matter of fact, things are so chaotic. I just want to jump into the rapid fire section of today's headlines. We got a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about. We have a lot of whatever. There's a lot in the ether that you got to throw up a lasso in that and you got to yank down a couple things, and you got to be like, okay, I'll understand one or two of you really deeply, but the rest of you I'll catch a glimpse at. So we're just going to catch a glimpse at these headlines, and we're going to understand as much as we can from the little bits of information we know. China's Xi Jinping, he has reiterated the vow to reunify Taiwan in the New Year's Eve address. Xi described the reunification as an unstoppable trend amid ongoing military drills near Taiwan, amid rising cross-strait tensions. They're going to take it probably next year is my guess. We're going to have an interesting Big 26. We'll get into predictions for it eventually. I'm guessing that MAGA is going to get gay MAGA. Guys, in 2026, gay MAGA is going to get huge. Tell me this. Like, listen, trans MAGA, that's also going to get huge. LGBTQ MAGA is going to get huge. I don't know why. I just feel this coming along the precipice. I feel like there's going to be, a reckoning for fraud in Minnesota. I feel like, oh yeah, speaking of MAGA, I think that we're going to get open MAGA allies. Like, I think Lizzo's going to come out and wear a MAGA hat. Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, Chapel Roan, Tobuscus. I mean, has he already, at this point? I have no idea. The world rings in 2026 with mixed celebrations, subdued observances. New Zealand and Australia mark the new year. However, recent mass violence and disasters in parts of Asia and flood victims in Indonesia led to toned-down festivities in some regions. America is still going to go out with a bang. Don't lose it, everybody. We will. I promise you, we are gonna throw a party, and there's probably going to be something big that happens. My guess is maybe New York, L.A., one of the main squares. I have no clue. Could be Minneapolis. I'm hoping nothing happens, but I've been wrong about this before. This is interesting enough. Regional cooperation in Southeast Asia. Energy talks continue. Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, and the Vietnam. News includes discussions on energy cooperation, reflecting ongoing regional economic integration and strategic dialogues. Good for them. Folks. This is in statistics latest news. Fargo poverty rate has hit record low at 12 to 13%, meaning that 1 in 9 or 1 in 8 Fargoans are experiencing poverty. If you haven't personally been to Fargo lately, the homelessness issue has gotten way worse. I know that a lot of people are going to go, well, whatever, like, what is the per capita or whatever? The per capita is 410 per 100,000 residents. Do you know what city has comparable levels of poverty? Here, let me look it up. What city has most poverty per capita? New York City has the largest total population. Cities like San Francisco and Washington, D.C. are coming in close second. San Francisco's continuum of care around 959 per 100K. So, listen, New York City, it's got about twice the amount of homeless people per capita, 742. In all honesty, you just go out. The reason that I mention it purely out of this sake is that, like, I'm getting sick of going into Walmart. I'm getting sick of driving down 13th Avenue. I'm getting sick of driving down 25th Street downtown and seeing, half-naked bitches with their tits out begging for change on the street, literally begging for change on the street. It's I don't love to see that right outside the Fargo Theater. I don't love to see people that are just sort of filthy and, either wearing, like, dirty, ratty coats and whatnot. The homelessness rate is ridiculous. And the reason that it's getting more noticeable, especially throughout the years, is because global warming is allowing the winters here to become way more temperate. We can't freeze them out. We haven't been able to freeze them out in a few years. So they just keep building up. They keep building up and building up and building up. Eventually, I've been walking through Lindenwood Park lately, and there was a guy sleeping under a fucking bridge. It's ridiculous. It's out there. It's really starting to get out there in Fargo. And if you don't believe me, come walk the streets. I will take you to, like, let's go to, like, the one what's that one restaurant? Toasted Frog. Never mind. I think they're closed. I haven't been there since a guy razzed me outside of that place. He was like, "Are you white, black, or brown?" And he was like, "Are you making fun of me?" Eventually, I was just like, "Fuck it. I'm not in the mood for this." And then me and my girlfriend, we just went and ate in a Target parking lot. We had Lunchables, and it was better than the Toasted Frog. It was better than the Toasted Frog. It was worth it not taking the risk of that one guy possibly mugging us after we got out of our car. There was a train collision near Machu Picchu, kills at least one, injures dozens, not fun. 2 passengers trains on the Cusco-Machu Picchu line collided head-on, resulting in at least 1 fatality, with more than 30 injuries, prompting investigations into safety and service suspensions, fucks. Okay. Oh my god. We got, I didn't mean to laugh at that. I'm sorry. I just I remembered what, God, I need to stop. I remembered what clip I have prepared for this next one. We have, eventually, these are, okay, so I don't know if anybody rides New York City subway. I'm guessing if you listen to this show, you probably don't. But this is your chance to giggle at dumb New Yorkers. The tap and pay frustration is mounting as MTA unveils the new turnstile at Broadway and Lafayette Station. Actual retards seem to be the population of New York. It shows a lot of people fucking freaking out on these things. So they're basically, if you don't know what a turnstile is, if you see old movies of New York, you have to, in order to get onto the subway, you have to slide your Metro card, and then you have to push the turnstile, and then you can, in the old days, meaning like prior to 2025, you used to be able to, if you wanted to skip the fare, you could jump right over the turnstile and then you could just be on the other side. And that was a way for people to jump the fee. So they have unveiled these plastic screen door models of turnstiles where essentially you swipe your card and instead of a turnstile clicking and allowing one person to go through it, it is a big screen of plastic that opens down the middle after you swipe your card and you walk through it. Now, actual retards seem to be the only people who live in New York City because these idiots they're swiping their card. You see this dumb looking he looks like an old Italian guy. He's just like, and he starts smacking it and whatnot. This is a clip. I'm going to describe to you some of the chaos. Every time, by the way, you hear a buzzer, that is someone failing to swipe the card properly and holding up the line for everyone else. The customer service people are just trying to wave people through. Some idiots are holding the doors open. They go to another door. This Rob Reiner looking guy is like walking back. He's like, how do I do this? How do I scan this? He's looking real mad. You got this one lady on the side chimping out. They literally jump up and down in frustration. Are you children? This is actually fucking ridiculous. I'm so glad. Listen, public transport, so trashy, so disgusting, so like not the cool, not what I like, not the news. We're not into it, and you know what? That's perfectly fine. I don't ride public transport. I don't hate myself that much. Protests in Somalia against the recognition of Somaliland. Thousands rallied across Mogadishu, not Minneapolis, and other cities to oppose international recognition of Somaliland as an independent state, highlighting ongoing territorial and national identity tensions. They haven't been a recognizable country since maybe 1991. Russian drone attack strikes Odessa, injures civilians, including children. Overnight strikes damaged residential buildings and infrastructure in the Ukrainian port city, causing injuries and underscoring persistent wartime hostilities. Not fun. Not fun. The Saudi Arabia, UAE tensions are escalating over the Yemen conflict. Saudi Arabia demanded that the United Arab Emirates withdraw forces from Yemen following an airstrike on Kamala, linked to separatist arms shipments, deepening rifts within the Gulf Alliance, and raising fears of broader instability in the region. You thought there was going to be any stability in the region? I think that if God was fun, he would have set the Bible in America rather than the Middle East, because damn the Middle East, it has a lot of shit going on, like a lot of the time. How is Mel Gibson supposed to make The Passion of the Christ 3? I don't know, like, I'm patiently waiting. Precious metals post record annual gains as the year closes, with gold and silver and platinum experiencing blockbuster performance in the year 2025. Start buying gold, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good idea. Gold seeing its strongest annual rise in over 4 decades amid monetary easing and geopolitical uncertainty. Very, very fun. We have the final headline that we're going to cover, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I don't know. In levels of nervousness, I would say that Times Square, it's the most high alert ahead of the New York City's New Year's Eve celebration. It's not New Year's Rockin' Eve, but it's New Year's at the Times Square, where like Whitney, whatever her name is, Whitney Cummings, is it? She stands next to Anderson Cooper and makes him uncomfortable. Him and is it his boyfriend? I don't know who the other guy is, the one who has credible allegations of sexual misconduct. Not Anderson Cooper, the guy who stands next to him on New Year's Eve. Andy Cohen? Yes, Andy Cohen. I mean, not to say anything about him, but like he's got a lot of suspicious things going on behind the scenes if you want to go ahead and look into his past. Yeah, ahead of their celebration. Are they even hosting this year? I don't think they are. I don't know. Times Square, they're on high alert ahead of the New Year's Eve celebration. Let's take a look at this clip.
New Year's Eve is almost here. The ball is almost ready to drop in Times Square tomorrow night. Security preparations are underway to make sure that the massive annual event stays safe and secure. According to an assessment obtained by ABC News, New York remains an aspirational target because of the magnitude of the event. Officials say that they are taking all of the necessary security measures.
Security is everyone's responsibility again.
No! It's Eric Adams, Mayor Adams. No. If it's in his hands, we're fucked.
Say something, do something. And while we do not have any specific or credible threats regarding the New Year's Eve festivities.
Is he on Molly regarding the New Year's Eve, regarding the...
In Times Square at this time, we are continually operating in a heightened threat, and please be conscious of your surroundings.
WABC's Darla Miles joins us.
That sounds like a slave learning to read with the Bible.
Darla, what threat are officials looking out for right now?
Well, good afternoon. Right now, we just heard from, as you saw, Mayor Eric Adams and Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch with their annual New Year's Eve security briefing. And there are several things that they're going to be looking out for. First of all, there are the points of entry where they will be checking bags. That's where they'll be looking for contraband items like knives, weapons, firearms, maybe even explosive devices, anything that is not allowed into the secure zone. They will also be looking out for protesters with disorderly behavior. They say they respect everyone's right to protest, but they will be certainly on the lookout for anyone looking to disrupt any of the activities and process. There will also be pickpocket teams, hotel response teams for any disorderly conduct there. And then they will also be monitoring...
By the way, you know what pickpocket teams are? You walk up to a fatso in a New York City police uniform and you say, hey, some fucking migrant just stole my wallet. And they go, oh, we want to make a report filing. They don't chase them down or anything like that. It's not like Red Dead where you go get law enforcement and they're going to chase down the outlaw. It's like, no. I mean, we'll get him eventually. But it's New Year's, man. It's New Year's. You can't expect us to work that hard.
Social media in real time for any threat that may be coming out during the festivities as the day progresses tomorrow on New Year's Eve. They will also be securing the mailboxes and the manholes here. Obviously, this is a wide area, so those manholes will either be secured, they will be secured shut, and they may even remove some of the mailboxes so that even though before revelers come into the secure zone, before the streets become blocked off tomorrow, they're going to be fortifying every single space here in Times Zone with tens of thousands of officers to secure the...
Yeah, just stay home. Just stay home. Like, what? Like, why? Why? What's the point? What's the point? If it's gonna be a police state when you walk out and you can't even get a bagel or whatever because you can't have a bag that's bigger than however many ounces, what's the point?
Millions of people who will be watching the New Year's Eve ball drop here in Times Square.
And you gotta expect security will be pretty tight all throughout leading up to that and throughout the night too.
Absolutely. There will be actually even more police officers than we saw last year. You will see officers in uniform, plainclothes officers. This is really an all-hands-on-deck situation for the NYPD. Two things in particular. At those secure zones where they will be having those points of entries, they will have augmented police officers, more officers to expedite the screening process and get everyone into the pen areas. And even more distinctive than in previous years, we will see mobile teams walking around with magnetometers. They will be conducting secondary screenings for people, even though after they've been wandered into the secure zone, if there is any suspicious activity taking place, officers will have those magnetometers, and some revelers will have to go through additional screenings. This is in addition to the canines, the mounted patrols, the drones, the helicopters, as well as the explosive detection
Black
devices
helicopters.
and the mobile, the Marine units. It's, again, a massive security taking for the NYPD here in New York City. It is the most massive security process screening here in New York City. So it's going to be a big event, and lots of security measures will be in place.
Darla Miles there for us in Times Square. Thanks so much, Darla.
Thanks, Darla. We appreciate it. Yeah, that you fellas aren't gonna see it coming because you know why? It's the ball. The bomb is in the ball. I know that nobody else is seeing it, but like the ball is new. It's got all these pretty lights and whatnot. And then eventually what they're bagging on, what Al-Qaeda or whoever's planning this is bagging on, is that you are going to all be focused on the ball. And then eventually, when the stroke of midnight, when the ball falls and whatnot, once it hits the ground, it'll go, and then the building will blow up, everything. Like, I'm just worried that, like, people are just, like, you're so concerned about everything else except for where the terrorists are actually going to get us. That's the weird thing about terrorism, is that the new mechanics that you come up with today, they're only going to stop the terrorists in the ways that they harmed you yesterday. They're only going to stop them. It's not going to stop them from finding out new ways to hurt you. You know what I mean? You might have stopped the shoe bomber, but who's to say you're going to stop the crop top bomber? I don't think that that's going to happen. You know, I don't go to New York. Just watch it on your TV. Be worried and cower in your homes, because that's probably safer. Probably a lot safer. Folks, we're going to jump into our third story. It's not really a story. It's more of a reading. It's more of an intimate moment between listener and reader, ladies and gentlemen. The Big 25. It's a year in review. Folks, what a year. 2025. It's like the universe looked at 2024 and said, hold my beer. We're going to crank up the crazy to 11. We kicked it off with, like, Trump swaggering. He went back into the White House. It was a bad sequel. Nobody asked for it. He promised to make America great again. And boy, did he deliver on the drama. He slapped tariffs everywhere on everything from Chinese EVs to Mexican avocados. He turned guacamole into a luxury item. It's kind of beautiful. The right, they cheered it on, you know what I mean? It was Christmas at Mar-a-Lago. It was a great time. The economy, it was still sputtering a little bit. It was like a golf cart running on Diet Coke, you know what I mean? It'll get you somewhere, not very far. The left, they spent the first half of the year in therapy. They were clutching their pronouns and protesting by gluing themselves onto wind turbines. Nothing says fight the power like becoming one with renewable energy. You know what I mean? Politically, it was a circus on steroids. I loved it. Kamala Harris, now the eternal bridesmaid of American politics, she soft-launched her 2028 campaign. Before the inauguration dust even settled, she vowed to be unburdened by what has been, or whatever the vague poetry she spits out is. The Democrats, they circled the wagons around identity politics so tight they accidentally excluded straight white guys from their own party platform. Talk about inclusive. On the flip side, the Republicans doubled down on the culture wars. They banned books faster than you can say woke agenda. Elon Musk live tweeted the whole thing from his Mars colony prep bunker, you know what I mean? Remember that the Supreme Court ruling on AI rights? It turns out that robots can vote now, you know what I mean? Only if they're registered as independents. Meanwhile, I won't even touch the performative cruelty of the White House's deportation express. Keep up the videos. Just make sure that you're mocking a gang leader and not a mother of six. That's just advice on my part. I don't want to forget about the global dumpster fire. Ukraine finally got those F-16s, but Putin, he responded by annexing a chunk of the Arctic. He claimed it as New Siberia for his polar bear cavalry. The left virtue signaled with sanctions that hurt American gas prices more than the Russian oligarchs ever could hope to, while the right pretended climate change was a hoax, even as Florida sank even further. Oh, and Taylor Swift's world tour, it caused more international incidents than the UN. Fans rioted in Brazil and conservatives boycotted her for performing satanic feminism, or whatever they say, or some nonsense. I don't know. Scientifically, we made breakthroughs. CRISPR edited out hangovers, but only for the rich. So now billionaires can party like it's 1999, while the rest of us can nurse our regrets with a little bit of aspirin. Notably, 2025 was a big year for big tech. It finally ate itself. Meta's metaverse, it flopped harder than Zuck's congressional testimony, leaving users stranded in virtual reality hellscapes arguing about NFTs and other things that are just as important. The left blamed capitalism, as usual. The right blamed the deep state. And speaking of deep states, that whole Epstein client list, it turns out that half of Congress was on it. Bipartisan perversion at its finest. Hollywood tried to rebound with reboots of reboots. Audiences revolted, demanding original content. Fat chance. As we wrap up this mess, remember, whether you're red or blue, we're all demons from hell. That's why you're so easy to placate. That's why it's so easy for me to sit here and lie to you. Black or white, gay or straight, we all know that the time on top is coming to an end. All of them, China, Russia, the Muslims, the Jews, the whites, the radical Christian papacy, the organized Jewry of the world, the CEOs, the poor paupers, they're all coming for us. It's pretty much over. I don't know what else to say. And after they've all taken their pound of flesh, we'll be nothing more than the UK 2.0. I saw it glitter as I grew, and loved it, boy, I never knew. I thought this place was heaven sent, but now it's just a monument in my mind. And I couldn't help but fall in love again. In the words of Archie and Edith Bunker, those were the days. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. May 2026 bring a lot less idiocy, but who am I kidding? Mike Judge is Gen X's Moses, and in the meantime, folks, thank you so much for listening to today's broadcast. Thank you so much for listening to this debut year of our show. I have been your host, Ollie Vogt Larson. I can't wait to see you all next year. I can't wait to provide you more content, because trust me, we will need someone to break all this down. We will need someone to bullshit with. You will need someone to give half-baked takes. You'll need that chaos in your life. You'll need that person, and I promise I will be there for that solid year next year. In the meantime, folks, should auld acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should auld acquaintance be forgot in the days of auld lang syne? For auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne, we'll drink a cup of kindness yet, for the sake of auld lang syne. Thank you so much for listening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll catch you in the next episode. See you Thursday. Subscribe if you want more, like if you liked it. I've been your host, Ollie Vogt Larson. This has been your Brain on Air. Thank you for listening, and bye-bye.